Whoa, dude.
All right, we're live.
Oh God,
Oh
dude.
crap! I forgot my little red book.
I get it.
Go get it.
Hey guys.
What's up, peeps? Back again. Matter of fact, while Colin's away, there's something I wanted to mention. If you enjoyed the show, why don't you go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, and why don't you just go ahead and recommend us to some friends, dude? We can all have a good time together. This is fun for us, and I know it's fun for you. Ah, yes, my little red book. Thank you,
I like
Colin.
that you call it the Little Red Book.
Yes, no affiliation to Mao Zedong whatsoever. Chairman Mao is not a friend of the show, and he would not agree with any of my political beliefs.
I got my little notes app.
Yeah, boy. Just check it.
Oh, so that episode 10 was the one with the picture. 'Cause I
Yeah,
thought it
yeah, yeah,
was,
yeah.
damn, 999%.
That's from the last 28
Yeah,
days.
ball.
Yeah, bro. That's just.
Yeah, because we
So
never.
we're finally past the 28-day mark. So,
Oh,
yeah. We got the growth. Had one view
it's
yesterday.
not enough.
No, it ain't. But yeah,
Yeah, how you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling good. I'm
How you
feeling
living, man?
zogged out
Yeah.
all day, every day.
All night, all day.
Yeah. Full fins by day, poorly explained podcast by night, all day. Me and Colin was just on the news.
Hell
That was
yeah.
tight.
We told all about the scandals of that guy.
Yeah. Ruh, ruh,
Come
ruh. Just stop. You always go. You come close to saying it,
It's
and it
fun,
worries
dude.
me.
It's fun to ride that line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just fucking did a pool fence, and boy, was it hot.
Yes, it was.
I don't know why, but I felt like it was hotter than normal.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like usually we get a cloud or two. We
Yeah.
got a half on all day.
Yeah.
All day.
All day.
Wish it was night.
All day. It's not even cold at night either.
No, but
Yeah.
you know.
What you got on the? What you got on your list?
Nah, dude. Uh,
Marriage at my age. Let's talk about.
we never got there. It's not funny enough. Nah, I don't want to go with that one. Hold
Colin
on.
wants to marry the lady from the TV.
Oh yeah, the
He's
news
in love.
reporter. I got that topic on
Yeah,
here.
KATC TV3's on the scene reporter, Christina. If you see this, Colin loves you very
Whoa.
much.
We just told her about the pod, dude. You can't do that.
Oh,
She
it's
might
done.
see it.
She's not gonna. She thinks we're losers.
What's up, Christina? Ask Conley for my number if you want it.
Yeah,
I don't know. All right, hit her up on LinkedIn. You know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Marriage at your age. I got a funny marriage story for you.
Okay.
The other night, Luke woke up at like 2 o'clock in the morning and just crawled into our bed. And I woke up like kind of like my time to get up in the morning, and I looked over and it was just Luke, and on the other side of him there was nothing. So I just scooted him over a little bit more to where I had some more space. And I was thinking, oh, Paige must have went into the living room, to go sleep
Yeah.
without Luke kicking her. And I let out a fucking butt trumpet, dude. It was
Dude.
loud, just a wah. Turns out Paige was right there. She had just turned over
Oh
a
my-
certain way that I couldn't see her. She was so mad.
A 10 out of 10 beef, dude.
Yeah. Oh my god. It sounded like reveille. You ever
Yeah.
seen like those military moves? Where
Yeah.
That was it, dude.
That's crazy.
I brought the thunder.
That's the
and
best.
Yeah, I got busted for it. She was not happy with me.
One time when I wasn't married, but my ex, whatever, we're in the room. And I live with my mom, and it was just ripping ass, just back to back to back. You know, we're at the comfortable part in the relationship,
Gas chamber.
dude. It was like every fucking 10 minutes we were ripping ass, and it was loud like trumpets.
Yeah.
And it was like, we just cracked the fuck up because it was like, dude, if my mom comes in here, oh my God, she's going to be appalled, dude. It's going to smell
Yeah.
like the hot box of gas, dude. It's like this room probably smells awful.
And it just stays in there too.
Yeah, dude. I let one rip earlier, and them cracklings did not smell good at all. But yeah, dude, the news reporter, we already talked about this, but she shook your hand with one hand. She put both, she clasped on that one.
That's.
Very nice to meet you. And I'm
Dude,
like, oh.
she said very nice.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That's.
And she brought us some cracklings, and then we just kept making jokes, and then
Yeah, Colin dunked his head in the pool to try to
she
cool off.
She leaves, and Colin's like, I was like, man, I'm gonna dunk my head in the pool. He's like, well, she's gone, you know, with the camera and everything, so you're good. I was like, all right, fucking leaned over just in the pool, got up, like dripped off or whatever, and like 5 minutes after I dunked my head in the pool, she shows back up.
5 seconds, dude. You were red faced and your hair was everywhere. It was
I needed
beautiful.
that, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I look like Guy Fieri.
Yeah.
And fucking, and then I was like, damn it. We talked to her about how like we were like, oh, she's gone. Well, it's all good.
Yeah.
And then she pulls up with some water, says she forgot, which was super sweet. And
Yeah.
I was like, I just dunked my head in the pool. Don't mind, don't mind the way I look.
That's what I was saying, dude. We must seem insane.
No, dude, I think she was vibing. Dude.
Yeah, she was. We are fun. That's what it takes. You have to be silly
she
and
was-
stupid to be fun people.
I think she was cool that like it was her. You know, I don't know who else they got working, but it was
Yeah.
cool that she came, and then I'm sure she like was like, oh, these people are cool too.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
not awkward or
Yeah, we're not like just fucking robot people that have no personality or just
Right.
bland.
right.
There are some people that are like that. Those are very sad people.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
no,
have personality.
she was
Look
a,
at us, dude. Superstars.
She was a cutie patootie, bro. Gotta say.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, don't. If it's meant to be, it'll be, bro. Don't be all pushing all hard. You know.
But this might be your only chance, dude.
Yeah. I don't know. She grabbed my hands like that. I was like,
Yo.
stop it. What and then whenever my hair was all fucking retarded, she was like, "Oh, I love your hairstyle though," and I was like, "No, you fucking don't."
Yeah. Colin
After
looked
I
at
saw
himself
myself
in his
later,
phone.
yeah, I looked at my reflection later. I was like,
a
"Oh
fucking
god,
Sasquatch.
like what the fuck?" And she
Yeah.
got to see the before though, so you know.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
If she'd have like, she shows up after I dunked my head in the pool, I'd have been like, "Fuck." I look like an idiot.
Yeah.
That shit felt good though. It definitely cooled me off for a little while.
Yeah.
It was hot, dude. I still feel it.
It's a
I
hot-
feel like baked.
Hot day.
I feel a little fraud.
But it's all done, and now we're happy.
Happy.
The pool fans went great.
Shout out Sadie. I'm so happy. She was freestyling the other night, and that
That
was
was
like
it?
she kept hitting that.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
That's cool. You got anything you want to go over?
Yeah, I got a little something.
Because I got some stuff cooked up, too.
I'll start off with something. Well, I got a few little decent things, but anyways, we me, Sadie, Jasmine, and Drew went to mutual friend, but like it was Drew's original, you know what I mean, friend.
Yeah.
Went to Blake's house, and we go play a little game over there called Don't Say Super fun. We should play it. It was actually, I was like, games, they're cool.
I would crush in that.
Dude, it was great. It was a really cool game. But fucking talked to Blake, and I met them before and whatever, and he's super down to be on the pod,
Okay.
with or without if you don't want to,
Yeah.
And he was like, man, yeah, you got a new fan, bro. I'm gonna be watching, and I
Hell
was
yeah.
like, fuck
Welcome,
dude.
Blake.
What's up, Blake? If
I don't
you're
care
watching.
what Colin says about you. You sound all right.
I didn't talk shit, dude. But yeah, and then Drew's been talking about being on the pod for a minute, and every time I come back and talk about recording one, he's like, "Man, I gotta get on the pod." And he's like, "Even if I just come sit in or something," and I was like, "Yeah, I mean, me and Colin will take the reins. If you want to talk, you can talk. If not,
Yeah.
you just react or whatever."
Or if you ever just want to pack up all your shit
Yeah,
and go over there.
right. And I was
do
like,
one. You'd have to do it on your laptop, though.
we can come and do it here too. If like Colin already, mentioned
Yeah, true.
that.
There, the bar. Y'all can just come do it in the bar.
Yeah, don't matter. But yeah, he's real down, and then Blake was all like, "Fuck yeah, dude!" It's like he wants to,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he fucks with history too, and like
Good. That's somebody
but
else
he
I could
knows
talk to.
he knows we fuck around. Yeah, I think we were saying, me and Drew were both saying it about Blake and you. We were like, dude, they would definitely vibe together.
How old is
man.
this guy?
He's like your age.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So he's way older than you.
Yeah, I'm friends with the geezers, bro.
Nice.
Yeah, he's like, how old are you?
33.
Yeah, he's probably about 30, 33.
Oh, perfect. Because
I think he's for sure older than 28.
yeah,
Somewhere around there.
yeah, it takes years to like get to know enough history to just talk about it.
Yeah.
Whenever
Like,
you're still
he
kinda
had a couple
learning.
things he wanted to bring up, like
Really?
like specific. You know how like your Bismarck's War,
Yeah.
like he had some shit like that where he was like, "Oh, I want to bring this up." I'm like, "Dude, yeah."
Dude, perfect.
But yeah, he was super excited to one, watch it, but two, he's like he wants to get on it, and
Yeah.
you know, like I haven't really let a whole lot of people know about it. So I was like, I forgot how it came up, but I mentioned like doing a podcast, and they were like, "Oh, what's the name?" And I was like, "Fuck,
Yeah.
I don't know."
Stop
And
being embarrassed about it. Just tell
no,
people
I'm
about
just
it.
being silly.
Yeah, okay.
Like Drew, it was like we only had one episode, so I was like, "Don't watch that one."
Yeah.
You know?
Dude, we've been cranking them out, dude. Like I said, this is episode either 11 or 12. It depends on. So
Yeah.
my dad's coming over this weekend.
Hell yeah.
And we're gonna do one. I'm gonna try and get my dad for more than an hour. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
My dad is like, you know how I keep up with like current events and
Yeah.
then with history. My dad, I got it from my dad. So my dad is like
Get
me,
it from my daddy.
but plus 35 years of it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like,
Right.
so he knows his shit.
He's got a
with
full-
all the stuff
full
going on
mag.
between Israel and Iran. I was like, dude, we shouldn't be doing this. This could be a way. And my dad literally said what he thought was gonna happen, and it fucking went out exactly
What?
that way. Yeah, last night Trump announced the peace deal,
Yeah.
and me and my dad were talking about it, and he was like, it's not done. He was like, there's gonna be some bullshit.
Yeah.
left.
Trump's
Swear
just
to God,
trying to get a
I
head
got
start.
up this morning and they didn't do the ceasefire.
Yeah,
Israel, that both of them claimed that they didn't go through with it. And then, dude, I saw some reporters talking
Israel
to
needs to
Trump.
chill, bro.
No, dude, listen. Trump dropped the F-bomb on the news this morning. Swear to God. He was like, he kept talking. He goes, I'm pissed at Iran, but I'm also pissed at Israel. Iran launched one extra missile, and for all they know, it could have been a mistake. They stopped it in the air. We're gonna have a word. As
stopped it
soon
in
as
the
I'm
air.
done with you, I'm going to talk to him. And he said, both of these countries keep going to war with each other, and they're at each other's throat, and both of them don't know what the fuck they're doing. And then he walked off. dude.
Damn.
Then he walked off in the Marine at the so Air Force One is the plane that he gets on.
Yeah.
Marine One is the helicopter that he takes. And there was just a Marine right there. He did that. Trump stopped and saluted the Marine and walked on. I was
Hell
like,
yeah.
dude, that's my fucking guy right there.
said,
I'm back
"Fuck,
on
dude,
it.
I
I was
like
kind of
that."
worried about the whole Israel-Iran situation, but the way Trump's handled it so far, I'm liking it. I gotta
Hell yeah.
say. They're both at each other's throats and they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Israel
so
needs to
that's
chill.
very positive.
It seems like Israel just needs to chill.
And it sounds like Trump understands that.
Yeah.
Now, taking Israel's side to make sure Iran doesn't get a nuke, I don't know personally how close they were to it. I was just scared that we would end up with another fucking Iraq on our hands.
Right.
Another 20 year Afghanistan with another 20 fucking years in the middle of the desert doing nothing. Which I hope it doesn't come to that. It doesn't look at this point now. It doesn't look like it's going to come to that, which is good.
Yeah.
But yeah, hearing the president drop an F-bomb on TV, I was like,
That's cool.
that's fucking tight.
That's a guy, dude.
Yeah. You could tell, because it was like a 10-minute video. You could tell he was pissed.
Yeah.
He was not happy
fucking
with
dumbasses.
either of them.
Yeah.
Because he was both, I guess, I'm sure he was very
Daddy's
excited
mad, yeah.
to come to an agreement to stop the fighting.
I think
You know.
I don't know, we don't know the whole story, but I feel like he might have just jumped the gun and said that in hopes that it
No,
would,
Qatar came out and admitted that Iran gave them the authority to negotiate on their behalf.
Yeah.
So it was between Trump, Israel, or the U.S., Israel, and Qatar representing Iran.
Yeah.
And Iran did give them permission to negotiate on their behalf. And it was like Trump said, they launched one extra missile after it was done, and he was like, it could have been a mistake. It could have already been, we don't know the situation. But after that, Israel started going nuts again, and it was like, that was stupid. I'm gonna tell them that was a stupid thing. The ceasefire has to,
Yeah.
It was great. I was pumped up. It's always nice to hear from the big guy.
Crypto's bouncing back, dude.
Hell
I
yeah.
don't know if it's because the news going on or whatever, but I think it took quite a fat dip whenever Trump whenever he announced they bombed.
Mm-hmm.
And then Trump was a little extra on it. I was like, you didn't have to say that. He was talking about bombing it, and he was like, it was spectacular.
What, dude?
You don't have to say it was spectacular. Just say what you did and leave it alone.
Do you know what was spectacular about it? They launched some B-2s, the B-2 stealth bomber, these
Yeah.
fucking planes that look like alien spaceships.
Right, yeah.
They launched some from California over to Guam, and Iran's within a strike range of that
Yeah.
from Guam. They reported that on the news to make it seem like they were setting something up. Bro, they sent 7 of them out of Missouri, refueled them halfway there. They went, dropped their bombs, and kept going. They crossed the fucking globe. They were back home. They never landed. They launched from Missouri, dropped bombs in Iran,
Damn.
and landed in Missouri.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Dude,
Dude, refueling in the air is crazy. I've seen the videos of them doing it.
That's
You
there's
gotta
a reason
keep-
why it's not us doing that
Yeah.
shit. They got people that are smart doing that stuff. That was, to me, that's just a very impressive thing for, like, logistically. The United States they didn't even leave from, like, the coast.
Yeah.
They had to fly for like 5 hours over the continental U.S., then cross the Atlantic, then cross Europe, then cross the Mediterranean, then cross
All
Israel,
right.
Jordan, Iraq, get over Iran, drop the bombs. And I don't know if they kept going east or if they turned around, but like they said, they weren't even detected.
Yeah.
No one even knew that these planes were flying.
Yeah. Stealth bombers.
That's
Stealth bombers look gnarly, dude.
I sure am glad that America has them.
Yeah,
like,
they're
that's a
like-
nice thing.
They're danger pizzas.
Oh my god. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Those are some deadly Doritos.
What happened to you?
Oh no, I got a piece of fuzz
Oh.
right in my
I see
eyesight.
it.
Is it on my hat?
No, it's on your like eyebrow, at the edge of your eyebrow. Other one. You got it.
All right. Yeah, but that was interesting. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm ready to have my dad on for him to tell me how wrong I was and how right he was.
All right.
Which, you got to give it to him.
Yeah.
Whenever you're right, you're right.
All right.
And that's something I want him to be right about.
Yeah, this shit. I talked about putting in those trades and whatever, and that shit took a dip, and I just kept buying the dip. It kept going lower and lower, and I was just buying and buying. I was like, all right, I gotta chill. I was like,
Yeah.
I gotta, just in case it goes lower. It's always, well, it's not always. Normally I time it pretty well, which I did, but because now I'm up.
Yeah.
But at the very bottom of the, like when it got to a certain price, I was like, fuck, dude. I was like, I shouldn't buy more. If it just keeps going down, I should wait and put more money when it goes lower.
Yeah.
Of course it didn't go lower after I thought that thought. I was like, let me stop buying on the way down. I'll wait till it hits a nice bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't do it. But I'm good. I'm back in profit. I was like at an $80 loss. Now I'm at like a
Nice.
$40 profit or something. Man, one thing real quick to finalize that game that we were playing. This is so funny. So we're playing the game, and like the whenever you,
What?
so you can't say
Oh, okay.
oh, that game,
Yeah.
yeah. You can't say and you got two cards, and there's two words on it, and you can't say the words obviously, but you gotta get your team, you gotta describe whatever you gotta describe or anything to get your team to say the words. Like if it was like cold, you gotta be like, it's not hot, or it's the opposite of hot, just shit like that.
Yeah.
And so on it, and then as you go, the further you get across the board, like you move one every time you're getting stuff right. And if someone says you hit the buzzer, it sets them back one. Or no, I don't know if it sets them back, but it puts you forward one. And it's like real competitive, right? And we had 8 people playing, so it was awesome. We're having a good time. But one of the rules that we had got, you get to choose rules for the other team that, like, as they progress, it gets harder, because then you can't say, like, you can't use like when you're describing, or you can't look up when you're describing, or you have to, like, stare the person in the eye when you're describing, like, just
Dang.
different shit like that, right? That you got to remember. And or you can't say words starting with a certain letter. Like, it gets hard. And one of them was like, you have to clap your feet, like every
Yeah.
time your teammate guesses the right word. So you hit it twice, and if you don't, they get a point. The other side gets a point. And so like it becomes my turn. I fucking could not remember to clap my feet. Like, I kept clapping it late. They would remind me, and then I'd forget, and then I'd say and then it was like, fuck, dude. Where they're just, where it's real
Yeah.
competitive. And so it gets to Sadie's sister Jasmine, and it's like her turn. She's got to describe the words, and she's got to clap her feet. And we're all talking, and we're like, remind her, don't say don't say like, and you have to clap your feet every time. And fucking out of like Pete was like, sorry, Pete, if you're watching it. Pete was like, and I want to hear it clap the whole time. And then, like, it got silent for like 2 seconds. And he was like, oh, that sounded so fucking bad. And then we all fucking started cackling. We were all laughing. It was the funny, you had to be there kind of thing. But
Yeah.
I was like, Pete, I'm sorry, but I'm putting that in the topic for the pod. Dude, that shit was so funny. He's like, I want to hear it clap the whole time. And Jasmine's just like, Dude, it was good as fuck.
Yeah, the only thing you can say to that is
Yeah, he's like, "Oh fuck, that sounded so bad," and we all bust out laughing. It was great.
Yeah. So
Right.
my topic list is basically once again just me listening to the Fat Electrician
Hell yeah.
in his videos. He did one about John Paul Jones, the founder of the U.S. Navy, and this dude has a wild fucking story. And so I guess the new way that Poorly Explained is going to be doing things is I'm just going to write people's names down and just look them up on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
And we're going to riff off of what we read and
You gotta-
and or what I already know about them.
You got a lip pillow for me?
Oh yeah, boy.
Hell yeah. Drew
Zen.
said we can't.
Shout out Zen.
Shh,
Give us some
shh,
money.
Don't do it. Drew said we're not sponsored. We can't say it yet.
Well,
We can't give him free promotion.
no. That's Alp. That's Tucker Carlson's. Yeah, if anybody hears this,
Drew's
come
like-
on, we need money.
Yeah,
We need-
please. Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah.
Like, comment, subscribe.
And tell your friends about us.
Yeah.
Text everyone. Don't fucking touch me, dude.
What, dude? I can't rest my hand on your thigh, dude.
No.
You do it in
So
the
John
truck.
Paul Jones, born in Scotland to I guess like a landscaper. He was like a gardener. He grew up, he learned how to read and write, but he kind of figured out that he wasn't going to be able to do shit with that education because it was still it was like an aristocratic society to where if you were born like a commoner, you had no upward or downward movement
Yeah.
in society. It's not like America. If you weren't like a blue blood noble, you will never be a noble.
Yeah.
So he joined, I guess, the British Navy. He got on board a slave ship, and so shout out to John Paul Jones. He went to Africa, and he wasn't the captain of the ship. He was just like a regular old sailor. He got on there and saw the treatment of the slaves on the ship,
Yeah.
and was so disgusted by it that whenever they stopped for provisions in Jamaica, he was like, I'm not getting back on that fucking ship. He
Damn.
hated it. So shout out to him. That's cool. He was, that's a very progressive look at the time
For a
to care
white
about,
man.
other human beings. So
Shit.
that's a very, it's a good little thing about him.
Yeah.
He ended up moving to America, and basically the Revolutionary War kicked off, and he basically, as I said, founded the U.S. Navy. He took control of a vessel and went over to Britain and started raiding the Brits
Damn.
and like blowing their shit up, and they were pissed about that. He went to like a nobleman's house and stole a silver plate, and then started sending letters to the wife saying that he didn't want to do it, but the men wanted to raid their house and steal everything,
What the fuck?
but he was gonna bring it back to her. I
Bruh.
guess he might have been trying to
What
get
a nice
laid.
guy, dude.
Yeah,
Go
He
kill
was-
a couple people and then steal a plate and feel bad.
yeah, he was partners with Ben Franklin,
Yeah.
who's
Okay.
a notable player. Did you know that about Ben Franklin?
Yeah, he was like.
He was a pussy hound, dude.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So he came back. He did some shit in Canada, got a bunch of coats for the soldiers down in Valley Forge, and then he helped Washington cross the Delaware River on Christmas.
Damn, dude.
So, yeah, he did a lot of cool stuff.
He was in tune with the popular guys.
Oh, yeah. He's a cool cat. Yeah, Jones sailed from the Delaware River in, wait, this isn't crossing of the Delaware. Sailed from the Delaware River in February 76 aboard Alfred on the Continental Navy's maiden cruise. So, first ever cruise. It was aboard this vessel that Jones took the honor of hoisting the first U.S. ensign, the Continental Union flag, over a naval vessel. So, first guy to ever fly the American flag
Damn.
over a Navy ship.
What a G.
Yeah. He like stole a bunch. He was basically a pirate, but
Yeah.
for a country.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was like the first guy to ever commandeer a British naval vessel.
Damn.
So he basically had like a piece of shit ship that didn't have enough cannons to take on
Yeah,
a
he was
British
like, "I'll take this one."
warship.
Yeah.
So instead of fighting it with cannons, he just loaded it up with Marines. And I was like, fuck it, we're just going to go steal their ship.
Yeah.
and he's like, now I have a nice
They
ship.
built it for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's
yeah, that's
smart.
some gangster stuff. Shout out to the fucking U.S. Marine Corps.
Yeah.
They were gangsters back in 1776. I don't know if it was the Marine Corps at the time, but they were Marines. That's the
I'm about to make
definition
sure
of
that
a
camera's
Marine.
recording, bro. Not to interrupt.
No, go ahead. I'm kind of running out of steam here because I don't remember that much about the guy.
Oh, dude, you took a picture.
No, I didn't. I know. I made sure. Yeah, he ended up going over to Russia too to help Catherine the Great, as she's known. Uh, while he was over there, like Russia didn't really have a navy, so they just got a bunch of dudes from America. Well, him from America and a bunch of British dudes. The
Yeah.
British dudes obviously hated him for embarrassing them through the Revolutionary War, so they accused him of some nasty things with women or younger women. They basically accused him of being a pedo, which,
Damn.
from what the Fat Electrician says, according to most or all historians, they don't believe that. It doesn't seem to be his style.
Yeah.
So he got sent back to America. Yeah, look.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. Accused of a 10-year-old Russian girl. She lived with her mother, who took care of her and began illegal proceedings. Stepanova testified to the police. And, yeah,
Damn.
wasn't good.
Yeah.
But in May of 1790, Jones arrived in Paris. He still retained his position as Russian Rear Admiral with a corresponding pension, which allowed him to remain in retirement until his death 2 years later. Yeah, he went to France a lot and kicked it with Ben Franklin. I guess they did some naughty things. Well, like naughty things of that aren't illegal or terribly immoral by today's standards. Like
Yeah.
Ben Franklin is noted for saying something like he didn't like to sleep with a virgin because that would kind of like give her a bad reputation. He liked the cougars.
Oh.
Ben Franklin liked the older
When he was
women who,
young?
been, who were either unhappily married or divorced
What
or
a
widowed.
bitch.
And so he liked the ladies that'd been around the block a few times, which,
He
is
needed
better than
somebody-
what the politicians of today are accused
Yeah,
of. So,
yeah, he's not
more
bad.
power to him.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
had other people's teeth in his mouth too, so
That's not a great thing.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how Ben Franklin was on the whole slave issue.
He
I'm
didn't
sure.
seem
I
like-
doubt.
he
I
didn't seem like
doubt
too
he
cool
would
of
be
a
proud
cat.
of it today.
He wasn't like John Paul for sure.
Yeah. No, you're thinking of George Washington. Washington had a bunch of slaves, and he had slave teeth in his mouth.
Oh, yeah, wrong
Yeah.
guy.
Which, it sucks. I hate that that's true, but he's the founder of America. He's still, there's like this idea that without Washington, America may not exist today.
Yeah.
So you got to take the good with the bad. I mean,
Yeah.
the bad. It sucks that the bad is so bad.
Right.
It's kind of the
Not
worst.
to be proud of, but it led to good things
He was
later in life.
a human
in
being.
development America.
I hate to vouch for a guy that, took part in owning other human beings, but
Yeah.
there's nothing we can do to change it now.
I might have not have had Buffalo Wild Wings without him, you know?
Yeah. Let's see how Ben was morally by today's standards.
Oh, he's a Freemason, of course.
Yeah. It's not really saying too much. What else you got?
Let me see my little red note app. So, I'm not gonna go on that. I don't know if I have anything interesting with that, but maybe
wait
later.
a second. Yeah, let's take a break real quick.
Oh no!
We're at 30.
Good
We'll
job.
be right back, folks.
Good job, dude.
And we're back.
And we are back.
What up, y'all? Oh shit!
What you got?
Fucking stupid bitch. Nah, bro. Well, this is random as fuck, but they were talking about at PetSmart finishing the clothes because Daddy Stacy's coming. He's the district leader, and Brandy was like, "We focus on the presentation of the store, and how much we could get done with the truck. Lazy. I'm off tomorrow, and I forgot my cigarettes. I don't know what I was about to say, dude. Cigarettes. I don't know how, but." Whoever works tomorrow, please put them in the office for me. And then Taylor was like, I'll smoke them with a laughing face. And then Brandy was like, I wouldn't even be mad if you do. And Brandy said, just as long as Colin don't smoke them. And I was like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, Taylor don't smoke cigarettes either. So I was like, why are you outing me?
Yeah.
And I think she was fucking, I don't know, she seemed like in a bad mood. And then I just like replied a whole day later. I'm like, why can't I smoke them? And it said, oh, I don't know. She might pull a reversal on me, but she said, "I don't want it to be the reason why you start smoking again." Oh yeah, certainly wouldn't do
Again?
Yeah, I certain.
I don't think I've ever seen you smoke a cigarette.
I never smoked cigarettes, but she knew I was vaping.
Oh.
I'm a fucking vape lord, dude.
Now
Uh,
you've joined the light side.
yeah, I'm a lip pillow man.
Yeah.
Maybe a 2.4 vape on the.
Pay up.
Yeah, boy, Zen sponsor. I'm not gonna do this forever, so you better sponsor soon, you know, or
Yeah.
else. But
I'm
anyways,
about to. Seriously. So Tucker is mad at Zen for whatever reason, because he was on Zen, but now he's off of him, and he started his own.
What?
No, and dude,
Why are you mad at Zen, dude?
I don't know. They might have done like a advertisement he didn't like, but the problem is I'm tempted to buy it because it's like way cheaper, and
Try
they
it
look
out.
the same. Yeah,
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah.
Try it out.
But you have to order them off the internet.
You
so,
know how I talked about the elusive Zen metal can?
Yeah. I'm not doing
What the
that.
fuck? Why did Chris say y'all need to calm down?
I don't know.
Chris
But,
is the least calm person. What do you mean calm down, dude? You don't want to be saying the wildest shit. Oh my god.
Get off your text and go to your notes, dude.
I don't know what the fuck's going on there. Anyways, so I found out on the trip to Houston with the crew that buzz balls. You ever tried a buzz ball? Oh shit!
Off of that.
Dude.
Oh my god.
Oh my God. Yeah, I hope that's on camera.
I hope it's. I don't think it is. Fortunately,
What the fuck?
it's all right.
Damn, dude, party
Damn
foul.
it, Colin.
You want to clean that up, or
Yeah. No, I don't
are
actually.
you just gonna leave it?
Fuck. No, because then I gotta go in the fucking living room. I'll just clean it up later.
All right.
It's fine. Bingo will drink it.
So, anyways, yeah, we're getting some buzz balls. Dude, why's your mic sagging, dude? It's sad.
Yeah, I know.
Wake it up,
Like,
dude. Maybe stroke it a little bit or something.
Maybe I shouldn't have taken the springs off of it.
Oh, you took the springs?
Yeah, because we kept bumping into them and they were loud.
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't bumping.
They're in the
into them.
trash can now, so.
Damn. I don't know what's okay. Anyways,
This second half of the podcast is not going great.
hell
for
yeah,
anybody.
dude. Wipe it on the carpet.
It's not a carpet, it's a rug.
Whatever, dude. Whatever. So we're getting some buzz balls, and you ever tried buzz balls?
No.
So I never really fucked with them either. And Drew and Sadie were getting some, so I was like, fuck it, I'll try one out. They have some decent little flavors, and then they pretty potent, you know. They own up to
Yeah.
their name. And then we just randomly like found out that it says like women owned, and like Drew and Sadie were like, oh, of course, or whatever, you know, made a joke about it. And then and Drew, I don't know if it was Drew or me, but it was like, yeah, women like of course women own this. Like they love a good buzz, you know, just
Yeah.
something to get them going, and they love balls, dude. It's a buzz ball. And that's all I got.
Oh, I was thinking it was like fruity drink.
They're fruity, but they get the job done.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were buzz balling it up that day. We were so we went for Jasmine's graduation ceremony. Like they did it at the house.
Yeah.
She was like homeschooled, so like they didn't. I thought we were going to
Oh, yeah.
a full ceremony the whole
That's
time.
crazy.
Like we were chilling at their house, and they catered canes and shit, which is
Ooh,
fucking dope.
okay, now we're talking.
I was busting up some
Hell
canes,
yeah.
boy, and Granny and her mom and everybody was like, "You better eat all that chicken." And I'm like,
You ain't gotta say that
I'm
twice.
like-
I'll fucking
I'm like,
crush
hold
you,
on, let me
man.
drink first. I mean, you know, they were like, nobody was drinking, so we were like sneaking and drinking, you know.
Oh, that sucks.
And well, so we went to we were like, it's awkward if we all leave to go to the car at the same time.
Yeah.
So we're like, we'll take shifts. And so we're going, and I'm like, no, this is stupid. We're just like, how many times can we forget something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot my phone. Oh shit, I forgot my phone again. And so eventually I just put it in my little cup. But you know, we were having a few drinks over there. And just like any family, you know, they got some weird cats and
Yeah.
you know, whatever. But dude, one cool thing, I'll show you a picture of it. So I guess this is the grandpa, but look at this fucking car, dude. He had a
Oh, hot rod?
1931 Ford whatever.
Yeah. That's
And it
badass.
was pretty nice. And
Yeah.
like the dude fully rebuilt it. He has like a
It's sick.
Chevy engine in it or some shit. And I was like, man, he's took it on trips to Colorado and shit like that.
Yeah.
And he's like tops out at like 85. I was like, what the fuck? I was thinking like it couldn't hit the speed limit.
Yeah.
I just peeped it through the doorway, but look, listen to this horn, dude.
Aruga.
It had the
Yeah.
horn. Yeah.
Aruga.
It had the horn and everything. He was so happy to show me. I knew he would have. I knew he'd get a kick out
Yeah,
of it.
old guys, they don't have shit going on. So as soon as
And
somebody's willing to listen to them talk for 30
Yeah.
fucking minutes about something stupid,
Dude,
they'll
he
eat
would
that
come
up.
out. We would like the cool kids were outside on the patio, and he would. At one point, he just came outside, and he was just like, he just brought that kind of old man weird energy.
Yeah.
And we were like talking, like, and her uncle was out there, like he's cool as fuck.
That's the thing. You got to keep drinking.
Yeah,
You got to drink.
that's
in
what we
order
were
to have
doing.
fun.
We were
Yeah.
getting it done. Well, no, they're all cool. Like we were fine not drinking, but yeah, we're drinking. Sadie was
Yeah.
like, we're gonna sneak some.
Well, you know
drinks.
you're not in Louisiana anymore.
Yeah, we were in a dry county, bro. Too.
Oof.
Yeah, we had to bring it.
I could never.
And like so her uncle's real cool. Like we was driving with him and then talking to him outside, and the grandpa comes outside, and like I could just see on Sadie's face, like he would talk and Sadie'd be like, like I'm like, don't make him feel awkward, we gotta
Let
welcome
the
him.
bro have some fun.
But he didn't, I don't know. He's being silly. But it was a good time. I forgot what else I was bringing up. Oh, so like Jasmine, like we did like a ceremony, but it's just her.
Yeah.
So like all eyes are on her. At a ceremony, like you have all these people to look at and whatever.
Dude, that would be the death of me. I could never.
Dude, she hated it. You could tell she was like,
I know.
and then everybody would be like, all eyes are on you, just to fuck with her,
Yeah.
And she was like reading out notes and shit like that.
What kind of homeschooling was it? Is that like that Christian? They're like
It was just
super
her last
Christian
year.
stuff?
No, her granny,
Not that I
I
have a
guess, is
problem
pretty
with it.
Christian.
It's just-
her granny's like a bullshit Christian. Like she's not
Yeah.
like super. She's like acts super hard in it, but then she also like I don't know. I guess gets a little wild.
There's a bunch of people that are into homeschooling now, but it's like stuff like that just kind of nails it in. It's
Yeah.
not the best because graduating. I didn't even care about graduating from high school. I couldn't imagine if they made me do that alone, just
Yeah.
in front of my family.
Yeah,
I'd have been furious.
it was cool though. It was all right.
No,
And
I'm not knocking it. It's just
yeah. But we were all definitely
my
like
cup of tea.
Jasmine included. We were all like Jasmine came back with us to stay at Sadie and Drew's house for like I don't know, a week or some shit. But we were all like, all right, it's time to go. I was
yeah.
like, me and Drew having a side conversation. Like, at one point, I was like, hey, when's the like the ceremony or whatever? I'm thinking we're going to like I forgot that was
like we're gonna be late.
Yeah. So I was pounding chicken tendies and sneaking drinks in and whatever.
That's a good time.
Yeah, it was cool. And then
Yeah.
we just rode back, vibing to music. Got home, played a fuck ton of Minecraft. No, we didn't.
Played Don't Say
Oh.
No.
No. Yes, that's what we went to do, actually. Yeah, we went over there, had a good time over there. Didn't play Minecraft. I was a little sad. And then the next day, I was like, we were bullshitting, and I've never called out of work. I've been working there like 2 years and a quarter of a year or something like that, and I've never called out. And it was a Sunday, and I was like talking that night. I was like, man, I might call out. And Drew was like, come on, bro. He kind of like pushed it for a second, and he wasn't. And then it was just me thinking like, man, I really want to, because I wanted to chill with them the
Yeah.
next day. I was like, fuck this, dude. I hate when I gotta go to work the next day. And so I went the whole night. We were like bullshitting, and PetSmart set up to where like, God forbid somebody gets overtime, they're raising, it's the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
And we don't have enough hours, so it's not like someone can just a manager can just come in and cover a shift.
Yeah.
And so I was like debating it the whole night, and I'm like, shit, dude, somebody's gonna get fucked though. Like Chris is gonna have to go in because he's salary or something, and he's gonna be mad. And he was going on vacation though, so I was like, fuck it, I don't have to hear his shit for a week. And so I woke up that morning. I was like, I'm gonna see how I feel in the morning. I'm gonna wake up on time to go to work, where I can go home and get my shit and then go to work. And I woke up and I was sitting there, and I was just like, fuck. I was like rehearsing. I was like, what am I gonna say?
Do y'all have like a number y'all have to call? And leave
No,
a
that
voicemail?
Sam's Club had that shit, and it was way too easy to call out because you didn't have to
Yeah.
talk to nobody.
Nope. You just leave a voicemail.
Yeah, you literally talk to AI, and we're like, all right, cool.
Yep.
It was so nice.
Yeah.
It was such a bad method, though. I don't think they should really have that. But fuck Sam's Club. Anyways, so I was like rehearsing in my mind, like, what am I gonna say? And I was like, so I went with like throwing up because I've caught a stomach virus at work before.
Yeah.
But man had tried to call me on my, so I called out, and then Taylor was like, all right, well, can you ask Brandy if she can come in? Brandy sucks. She's all right. She's kind of cool, but she sucks. She called PetSmart her home.
Oof. Not
Yeah,
good. How about?
nah. And but she's all right. And so I called, got it handled, and then fucking Amanda tries to call me, and I'm like, I was about to answer it, and then she hung up before I could answer. And I was like, fuck it, all right. I was thinking about ghosting them,
Airplane
but
mode.
I already did my procedure. I called ahead of time, did everything I needed to do. I'm not coming in. And then Taylor texted me and was like, hey, can you just come in? I was supposed to go in at 12, and she's like, can you just come in for 2? And I was just like, no, I called out. I'm throwing up, bruh.
Yeah.
All right.
So
So now I'm like, when she texts and calls, I'm like, I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
I'm ready to play Minecraft is what I'm ready to do.
Yeah.
And then Amanda calls me again, and then she texts me, and she was like, what'd she say? Hold up. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. No, it's not a lot. She's like, Colin, I know you're not feeling well, but I also know this is the day you wanted me to work for you because of your activities you were doing going to Houston.
Yeah, you fucked up telling him about it.
Yeah, I tried to request off like 2 weeks before this.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't plan to call out, and I was just like, all right, fuck it. And you said you would be able to work today. There's no one to go in for you. I don't care if you go in for a 3-hour shift, but you need to work on what is going to start making you feel better so you can close the store. And I was like,
No.
I called out. No. I don't care if I was thrown up. I especially would be like, fuck no.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
not-
just people trying to cover their own asses so they don't have to work as hard.
Yeah.
Y'all can be you'll be fine with a day. That's a problem.
Right. Drew was like, dude, it's fucking retail. It's not that serious.
Yeah.
You
It's
know?
PetSmart. PetSmart's going to be fine
And I was
tomorrow.
like, no, dude, I called out, and that's why fucking Iran started getting bombed. Dude. You
Yeah.
know, it's like the world revolves around PetSmart. I was like,
Yeah.
I can't do that.
So stupid.
So I called out, had a good old day with my
It was like that whenever I worked at
my
Webco.
friends.
Like at Webco, I would dread going on vacation
Yeah.
because I knew whenever I got back, it would be just a fucking clusterfuck because nobody's going to do my part for me while
Yeah.
I'm gone.
I'm the inventory manager, so I know the
Now, whenever I
inventory's
worked at
fucked up.
QMS, it was the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Because we had a good team at QMS whenever I first started there.
Yeah.
And, dude, I went on vacation. We went to Orlando. Dude, I got back, and it was just like nothing ever. Like,
Yeah.
I wasn't even gone.
Yeah.
Everybody was just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
everything was handled. Everything was good to
That's
go.
nice.
Because we had a beast crew. And
Yeah.
2 weeks before that, so how it happened was 2 weeks before that, the other guy, Chuck, went on vacation to the Bahamas.
Yeah.
So I worked the Saturday that he left, and then that put me ahead for the week. I got all my shit done. And then whenever I went on vacation, Chuck went in on that Saturday, took care of everything. And then
Yeah.
that way, him and Mike just had an easy
It's a
week
good
in front
team,
of them.
yeah.
And then, boom, we're back to normal.
Yeah.
It's-
PetSmart for vacations, they can kind of handle it, but
Yeah.
Chris is more so like, fuck.
No, yeah,
He said, if anybody else leaves, it's all good. When you leave, I'm like, God damn it.
yeah. So that was like whenever I worked at QMS, whenever the kids would get sick at daycare, I would take off.
Yeah.
Because I knew that the guys had it fucking covered.
Yeah.
Like, even if I was in the middle of something and had to leave the kids, I knew the other guys would go and finish what I was doing.
Yeah.
You know? So
Yeah.
there was never that problem.
Yeah. PetSmart's not, they don't fuck like, they don't do it.
They don't fuck like that.
They don't, I was
They
about
don't-
to say that. They
They
don't,
don't
fuck like
around like that.
that. Nah, dude, they suck.
Yeah.
So yeah, my first call out, dude. And I don't remember the last time I called out in a job, honestly.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, it's a Sunday.
It's
Fucking
Sunday.
chill. If it was a Monday, Wednesday, or Thursday, like I'm very needed on those days.
Yeah.
But they have coverage, but it's also I'm very needed at the same
Yeah.
time. There's like shit that needs to get, I was like, it's a fucking Sunday. Get it.
And then it's just like you work with a bunch of pussies who are like, who think that like today matters.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you're doing the same thing tomorrow and the next day
Yeah.
and the next day. Nothing's different about today.
Right.
Even if y'all are for some reason busy as hell and it's a hell of a day, you'll be fine tomorrow.
If I called out on a truck day, like sure, but like
Not even that.
it's
like
fine.
it's a truck, dude.
Yeah.
Like
The
one
trucks-
truck.
We've been getting fucked on the trucks anyways. They
Yeah.
show up late as fuck anyway. So
Yeah.
like, who does it?
Who cares?
Yeah. So,
So
I was
stupid.
fucking went do some landscaping with Drew on Minecraft. Fucking built a house. Actually did something productive.
Yeah. Had fun.
And had a great time. Had a great weekend. We built a nice, beautiful pond for us to fish in. Yeah, dude, we were living the dream.
Yeah.
And then PetSmart's panicking the whole time. Like, trying to contact, and then so they had a talk with me the next day. But
Yeah.
Taylor. So I thought Taylor's used to be. She's gotten a lot better. She used to be a little bitch.
Yeah.
Like I don't hate anybody. Like I don't have room for hate in my heart. But I was like, as much as I could hate somebody, dude, you fucking suck.
Yeah.
And she would piss me off. And because Chris was my boy, and she was buddy with Chris, but Chris would also complain about her. And now she's all right. So I was like, man, she's gonna be pissed because she ended up having to work. Like she worked 7 to 2 that morning.
Yeah.
And I called out around 12. Nobody would go in, so she had to work 7 to 7.
I would have just fucking
Right.
like, what's the big deal?
She ended up saying like, she was like, I mean, shit, thank you for the overtime though. She's like, I mean, you know, it kind of sucked or whatever. I was like, she wasn't.
Yeah.
I thought she was gonna be tripping. And then Amanda was like, called me to the office in the morning, the Monday morning. I was like, oh Lord, you know. And then she was like, you know, I have to fuss at you, right?
For what?
And then she
I was
wasn't
sick.
She wasn't actually bitching, but no, she was like, she figured I was hungover.
Yeah.
And I was like, actually, no, I was great, but I didn't tell her that.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, I've come into work hungover plenty of times. I was like, I wouldn't call out because I'm hungover.
Yeah.
I'd want to, but I didn't.
Yeah.
But I wasn't even throwing up. I mean, you know, if I'd have told her I was playing Minecraft the whole day, she'd have been pissed, dude.
Oh well.
But she didn't
That
have to
bad.
go in. The fuck you mad for, you know?
Yeah.
She just had to deal with something.
That's stupid.
I don't know. It was great though. It was a great call out.
Yeah.
Great
fuck
move.
Them. You play video games. It's one day. Did
Yeah.
you go back to work Monday?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
It was all good. It was chill. Dude, I might buy a fucking house, dude.
yeah, you
Yeah.
should.
I don't. I'm still at PetSmart, so it's like, but the house would be cheap. Like I said, it's I told you earlier, it's a foreclosure.
Yeah. Give me that address, son. Let's
see.
look that bitch up.
Uh,
It's on Zillow.
You gotta cut that out.
Oh.
Let me type it in. I'll
type it in and I'll look at it.
Yeah, I'll type it in. I did the whole.
True. Good call. I was not
Like-
even paying attention.
So it has no, I can say that it has a turquoise metal roof, and I love turquoise, bro. I was like, man, it's meant for me. Nice little property,
Here we go.
and I
in
could actually
Mo
afford
Reeves.
it. I don't have the money to put down, but I got my daddy.
Yeah, this looks similar to a house that one of my buddies had got whenever he was fresh out of high school.
Definitely a fixer upper. Outside looks pretty fucking nice,
That's good. $49 a square foot is good. That's very good.
and it's a
It'll be
nice
worth
size yard.
93. Yeah,
And I can fucking blast my speakers as loud as I want.
yeah.
And
I mean, it's hard to get a
dude,
fucking vehicle for this
look at
price
it.
at this point.
it's pretty fucking nice, dude.
Yeah,
And it's a 2-bedroom. So like definitely a fixer upper. Like look at that bathroom pic. It looks like that's a decomp stain, like somebody died right there. We'll sand that out. It's probably
fucking
water
cares?
damage.
Yeah.
But everything else looks pretty decent. Like, you know, the walls need to be.
All the problems are shit that I could literally help you with.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably need to put that on a slab or some pavers.
Yeah, it probably doesn't
AC.
work anymore.
Yeah,
The AC unit.
who cares though? Brennan's dad does AC. You can
Perfect.
get him. You call Jay up.
Yeah.
Shout out. I don't know if it's Southern Air Solutions or something, but yeah.
So it's
Jay
been
will do
out for
that.
like 4 days.
Mhm.
But I'm actually gonna go look at it. I'm gonna go trespass later.
It's the perfect starter home.
Yeah.
This
And it-
is not unsimilar to what I did where I met your sister.
the
I
fact
bought
that
a
it has
trailer.
2 bedrooms. I'm
Yeah, I
like,
bought a
hell
trailer in Scott,
Yeah.
and that was my first ever.
Yeah.
It was, you know, it's not a house, but it was a. I bought my first home for fucking $15,000.
What?
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
it was just a trailer in a trailer park in Scott, and I moved in right next door to your sister,
Yeah.
and that's where it all began.
Hey, it's
Tyler.
meant to be. It'll be, bro. See.
Dude. Yeah, I
I
truly
be talking
believe.
about stories like that, and people are like, "Oh, I mean, you gotta try." Yeah, of course you gotta fucking try.
No, we had both given up.
But it just happens naturally.
Yeah.
It's organic.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude. It's got.
a little bit of TLC, and that's a good home.
Yeah, dude. Ain't much. I could live in it like that.
I know that's the crazy thing about dudes.
If it has mold, I would like to fix that.
Yeah, that's nothing.
It
You
might
just
have
spray it
mold.
and paint over it.
So since it's a foreclosure, I'm like, the only thing I'm worried about is like, man, I fucking hope somebody didn't die in there, and then I'm gonna get it. Hopefully
if
it's a
they did,
hopefully it's a nice person that died. I don't want to get haunted, dude. Fuck that. I'm scared of the dark. Remember?
For $44.9, dude, you can live in a haunted house.
Yeah. Look at that roof, dude.
Yeah, just beautiful.
Yeah.
Look, a metal roof, those don't go bad.
Right?
Yeah.
I was stoked about that.
Yeah,
It's got a nice shape to it.
yeah,
Nice thick ass on it.
yeah. This isn't something that you buy and are like, I'm gonna pay this off and live in it forever. It's like, no, just get
No.
that and Stay in it until you
And
meet.
it's in like it's in Maurice, so it's like good property,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And that's kind of where I wanted to be anyway.
Yeah. It's
Somewhere.
not far from your mom's house.
It's literally right across the road.
Yeah.
It's right across the highway.
Look, your mom lives, what, right? Oh, wait. It's a little bit.
Six. Yeah. Where that red dot
trying
is
to
at the
look.
bottom left. It's kind of like right there ish.
Yeah, this is it. And I'm looking for 669.
Oh, it might be that. Yeah.
This? Yep, here it is.
There you go.
It's a little bit. And then her house is at the corner of,
Yeah. Yeah, so it's right across the highway, dude.
yeah, right here, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be sick, dude.
Yeah, that's perfect. You still go eat supper at her house.
And I can afford it now, which is cool.
Yeah.
Like, not to fix it up and stuff. I wouldn't be able to afford that because I got to do my crypto.
Well,
But,
the thing about fixing it up is if you hire somebody to do it, it can be prohibitively
No,
expensive.
I'll do it all
But,
myself
yeah,
as much as I can.
yeah. And if you ever want, I can just go over there on a fucking Saturday or Tuesday and fucking
Yeah, we
help
could
you whenever
pod.
We don't have
We
full
could-
fences. Yeah, we could pod over there.
Yeah, dude. In the Colin
Make yourself
house.
a little studio.
I got 2 bedrooms. It's perfect.
Yeah. You only need one, motherfucker.
Yeah, you see it right
Oh,
there.
let's see. You got a little driveway for you?
Yeah, it's like right there. You can see the gravel. Now it's like 10% gravel, 90% grass.
Don't matter.
I don't care though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in a nice little spot. I like it.
Fusilier Road. I did a pool fence on Fusilier. You can probably see it from these GPS.
Dude,
All right, this way.
we're gonna get big, dude. And if I end up living there, some creep is gonna fucking track us down. Track
It
me
might
down.
be down here.
Don't get too descriptive. I might get stalked.
Nobody's gonna find us. Oh,
What?
here it is. Look. Bam! Look. Pool fence is even on the GPS. You see it?
Yeah, ball. Oh, that's what? No way. Hell yeah.
They got solar panels now. Those people are doing good. Look at them.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, that'd be sick as fuck. And especially when I get the new job,
Yeah.
I can really throw some money at it.
Yeah, this you'd be walking in good to go. Like I said, perfect little starter home.
I got somewhere to hoard all my tanks,
Tanks.
all my fucking aquariums
Oh.
and terrariums.
Did you talk to your mom about it?
She actually sent it to me.
Nice. So she's on board.
Yeah.
She wants to
And
see
I was
you
like
get
asking
the
her last
fuck out of
night.
the house.
And I was like, you know how the house next door was a foreclosure, and I was like, damn, that would have been sick if I had the opportunity to like to buy that.
Mm-hmm.
I could live right next to y'all. And I was like, what? Like, is this something I should just? I was like, to me, this seems like I should jump on this, you know? Because worst comes to worst, even if I didn't want to live there, I could rent out the house, which I wouldn't want to be a landlord and do all that.
Nah.
But I could build trailers on it, and then they just lot rent.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with fixing anything or nothing like that.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I don't really.
But you'd have to get the house out of there. It'd be easy to move though, because it's so small and it's already on pillars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they could do that. Yeah, dude, I might do that shit.
Yeah.
That'd be sick. I've been wanting my own little spot.
Me and Paige started looking at Bunkie for house prices just to see. We're not thinking of moving to Bunkie.
Yeah.
But dude, houses are so fucking cheap in Bunkie compared to over here.
Oh yeah, I bet.
We found one that's like, oh yeah, look, this is the one we were looking at. Right here.
Damn.
Yeah, fucking 2,300 square feet for 295,000. Somewhere in Youngsville with that square footage would be fucking 400K or
Oh,
something
yeah.
stupid. Yeah,
That's nice.
yeah. That would be something we would think of, but it's just we talked about it for like 10 minutes and then it's like we can't go. I don't want to live in Bunkie.
Yeah, it'd be far away.
It's too far away, and we like being close to.
Lafayette and shit.
Yeah, having Lafayette. I don't want to leave Youngsville at all, really.
That's kind of where I want. Is like somewhere
then the
Maurice,
schools and-
Youngsville, Lafayette.
Yeah, the schools in Bunkie are just complete garbage, dude. Yeah. I think this is the one we were looking at. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, look.
Hell yeah.
It's just outdated and stuff, but it's nice.
Nice.
Yeah. This is great podcasting. Just us looking at the mod. This is what I don't know if we should keep doing this or just go back into the movie room to where we actually talk for the entire hour.
Nah, that's good, dude.
Nah,
It's kind of nice to be able to look up some stuff.
yeah.
Um, I might just throw this one in here. You got a topic? Or you want to?
All I was thinking, I just have other history shit that I don't have quite enough to go
Yeah.
to just rip on. Mostly Wikipedia stuff.
Look at us, dude, doing the pod.
Doing the pod.
So I'm gonna have to.
This is terrible podcast.
I'm gonna. Hey, dude, they can't all be bangers, dude. Hope y'all like, comment, subscribe if you made it this far.
Yeah.
Comment you made it this far. That'd be cool. But yeah, I might have to. Well, I have that one mic that I can see if that'll be a thing.
Mhm.
If not, though,
We just need the cable for it.
I want to get I might have to get like 2 more mics, and that way, cause me, Drew, Blake, for sure down to do a pod. Pete and Joey were also there. They talked about, like, I mentioned them, and I was like, you know, if y'all don't want it, whatever. But they seem kind of down. And Joey was like, well, I don't know if I have the personality for it. I'm like, dude, you're great. I love like hanging out with you. What you mean?
Yeah.
He's a cool dude. And I was like, no, it'd just be the same thing we're doing now. Like while we're playing it, like we're just
Yeah. Just talking
even
shit.
if we weren't playing the game, like we went over there just to hang out.
Yeah.
And I was like, it would be great. It would be a fun podcast.
That's why I started. That's why
I think you would like all of them.
ever wanted to podcast because I like talking anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I like having good conversations with people, even if they're meaningless, like this conversation has been.
Yeah.
It's just nice to chat it up.
Yeah, we could talk, you know, there's people that want to know eventually about our personal shit too.
Yeah.
And we haven't started our comedian careers yet, but we're doing all right, I'd say, you know?
Yeah. I'm never going to try to be a comedian.
Nah, me neither.
Yeah, those dudes are gay.
Ah, some of them.
Some of them are all right. Well, you have to, like, it seems like to be a comedian, you have to, like, live in a specific place for comedy.
Yeah.
I think there's a comedy club in downtown Lafayette, and I feel terrible for those people.
Yeah.
Because nobody's making it big out of Lafayette.
All right. I don't know, maybe.
Who knows?
But yeah, you got to do a bunch of bullshit shows and whatever to eventually get somewhere.
Yeah.
But that's how all comedians usually start. You know, it's a bunch of improv and open mic events.
They're all,
and-
like, trying to get on TV or something stupid like that.
Yeah, that's not the move.
Yeah.
Man, the comedian shows on the cruise ship are pretty cool. I like there was one guy that he was pretty funny, you know, like he was good. And I'm not like one to like I wish I was a more easy laugher.
Yeah.
Like I'll get, you know, I'll smile at, like I could watch the funniest comedian, like one of the ones I love is Dave Chappelle or like Bill Burr or something like Tom Segura. But like they're funny as fuck. And I
Yeah.
could watch the whole thing and maybe out loud laugh like, you know, 5 or 10 times.
Right. I
maybe.
think for something to be really funny, you kind of have to go to the place that they're doing it at. Like
Yeah.
if you see it live,
even
it's
funnier
a lot
when the
funnier,
energy-
and
yeah.
you've had a few drinks in you, and you're
Yeah.
there to laugh.
You having all the energy around
Yeah,
you.
just watching it on TV sucks.
Yeah. But the guy at the on the crew they do that like every night comedy shows, and they have the PG and then the rated R's. Go to the rated R's, don't go to PGs.
Yeah.
PGs are cool, but it's
There's only so much
you got to do to kids, and then it just sucks, and he starts running with a kid bit to make it, and it sucks.
Yeah.
They all hate it too. They talked about it. They're like, the PGs suck. Why are they making me do this shit? Especially when that's not their kind of vibe. But one guy I went to the rated R, he was good, and then I went to PG, and I was like, oh god, I was like, it was all right, you know.
Yeah.
But they had another guy that was like more of our kind of humor. He was fucking. He got me good a few times. Like
Yeah.
it was real good. And then they had a guy that had a Dave Chappelle vibe, and like just his mannerisms and shit were like Dave Chappelle, and it was like he was real good. That was one fun thing to do.
Yeah.
But on the cruise ship, there's like, you know, there's like, what you call that, 40 plus mixers or 20 plus mixers, where you like it's like the club night, whatever. But it's not a, you know, it's not a. I don't know how the club was. I didn't fucking go, but you go like the 20 plus mixers, 20-year-olds and whatever that go,
Oh,
and they
yeah.
go to the yeah. I'm like, I'm not going to that shit.
No.
I was like, no.
No 20-year-old's gonna go to a mixer. That's for 40.
I don't know
plus.
how many people were getting down on the dance floor, but I'm not a dancer. But I get you know, well, even sober, but I get a few drinks in me. I'll bust a move for like a good 5 to 10 seconds and then I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't have no follow-ups. I can't
You're
just
right. If I dance, I'm trying to make somebody laugh.
exactly.
I'm not
I
dancing to express myself.
I don't have 5 minutes of like baller dance moves,
Yeah.
you know?
Dudes
I'm the
that
same
like
way.
to dance, like think dancing is cool.
Yeah.
That's a red flag.
I mean,
That's-
I could appreciate it, but
That's
yeah,
kind of gay.
it's a little gay.
Yeah.
So I didn't go to those, and they had like, did they had an LGBTQ mixer?
Ooh,
I
that-
went.
Yeah.
Of course I went, dude.
Right.
I work at PetSmart. I gotta support. I didn't go.
Wait, I ain't no queer. Like, then why are you here?
I was, no man, I don't. I was just, sometimes we come on topics and I debate how hard I want to go into
Go
it.
hard in the
Dude.
paint, son.
So I was gonna go in and just figure out who's what and who's
Yeah.
they and them, you know.
Yeah.
And I didn't go.
I
I
wouldn't
thought
either.
it would be interesting.
That's so weird.
I wanted to go and just poke my head in and be
How
like,
many gays go on like a single cruise?
I didn't see a lot of them.
You know, like,
Well, I don't know about the gays, but I
well,
definitely
it's like what percentage of the population is gay? You know, like 5%? And how many people does a cruise fit? 1,000 people?
I think it's like 1,000, 3,000, something
Oh,
crazy.
3,000. So I mean, you're looking at like fucking 20 people.
How much a cruise
Yeah.
ship fits on there? How much?
There's no way there's enough for it to be worth having a fucking gay dance night.
have on. Yeah,
3 G's?
3 to 5,000.
Damn,
Damn.
that's big. That's a lot of
Like
people.
Royal Caribbean's Icon of Seas can hold up to 7,600 maximum capacity, along with a crew of over 2,300. Damn, there's that many
Yeah.
workers.
Could you imagine working on one of those fucking
Fuck
boats?
that. If there's that many people, and that would, I've heard that like whenever it's packed like that, it's not the best.
No.
And then also, I've heard a lot like the comedians talked about it too, and people talked about it. But like, if it's packed like during the summer when kids are on spring break and shit, and
Oh, yeah.
or like kids can come with their parent, it's like it's not as fun,
No.
you know.
To me, it seems like a cruise ship with less people would be better.
Yeah,
Couldn't imagine like one that's like booked, full of people. That must be so fucking annoying.
yeah. There's like 80 people in the 20-person pool. and
Exactly.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be fun.
I
at
didn't
all.
step in that pool not once.
No, because
No.
it probably smells like sweat. Like you get out, you know.
There's just too many people, and there's no room to swim.
No.
Like you just might as well stand there. Then I don't even think you could have drinks by the pool. It's
Yeah.
like what the fuck I want to be in there for?
Yeah.
I don't know. So I was hot tubbing the whole time. I'd go to hot tub. I'd go to the casino. I'd go watch a comedy show. I'd eat everything. You know,
Yeah.
eat as much food as I could put down.
Yeah.
The casinos were fucking pretty fun. I was
I'm
losing.
not a big casino guy.
Yeah, I'm not.
Waste money.
I always said after the 2 or 3 times I went to the casino, I was like, "Fuck casinos," because my whole plan,
Yeah.
my whole plan was to just like, and not even like everybody says, I want to win and then I want to go back. Nah, I was gonna win.
And then play with the win money.
Right, I was gonna win some good money and then put that shit into crypto and then not go back for real.
Right.
Cause like I know better. You know, the casino wins for it's a business for a reason.
Yeah.
It wins, and but I've heard of so many people like getting these good payouts and shit like that. Like someone went whatever. You never know. And so I was like, my whole plan was to just go and fucking win a little grand or 2, 3, something crazy, and then not go back. Well, I could not do that on
No.
on the cruise ship. First 3 days, I just slowly depleted my money. The third day, I was on a slot machine, on a Wheel of Fortune slot machine, and I put in like $100 or something.
$100.
Went down to like basically where we at 30 minutes. Oh
Yeah.
shit, we had 35.
Yeah.
What do we do?
Want to finish the story?
Yeah, if you think it'll
Yeah,
work.
finish the story.
Okay.
It'll work. It'll be
All
fine.
right. All right.
I was thinking of ending it right after this one anyway. Don't worry.
Okay, cool. So I put in $100, played it down to almost nothing. I got down to like 20, 30.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking boom, like 120. I was like, all right, I'm back to, I can keep playing. And so played that down to about 50. And then maybe I won, at some points I won like $40, $30, whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, and I don't really trust slot machines, especially the computerized ones.
It's there to just keep you there for as long as possible.
Yeah,
and slowly take your money.
I always said fuck roulette because I didn't like it. Then I found out a little strategy that worked for me, and I ended up kind of liking it. not playing numbers, playing single numbers. I just feel like you just get robbed the whole time.
Yeah.
But I was on the slot, and I'm getting kind of low on it again, and dude, I hit like a combo that I knew was good, but I didn't know how much. A lot of times they're like, oh, it pays out 8,000 credits, but like that might be $8 or that might be $80. Like I didn't know what it was, but then it said line pays 720. I was like, what? Dude, just won $720.
Oh, nice.
I was like, fuck yeah, dude. So at that point, I done won back everything. I was positive, net positive on everything. I won back all my money from the cruise on the casino, any money that I paid for alcohol, and paid for my cruise
Nice.
and everything. But it was the third day.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not gonna play in the casino for 4 more days.
Yeah, that's whenever you just cash out and just take like however much you're comfortable with and just play that
Yeah.
for the rest of the cruise.
That's what I should have did. That's
Yeah.
kind of what I did, but
That's not what you did.
not really. Because I started, I played like 200, and I was like, as long as I don't spend, I won 720, and I had like 800 at that point.
Yeah.
It's like I'm gonna spend like 200, and if I don't win, I won't play.
Oh yeah, and then another 200. Then
Yeah,
another
dude.
200, then
So it
another
started
200.
depleting,
Yeah.
and then it got to the point where my mom's just great at the casino. Like she just, I don't know if overall in her lifetime, but she wins a lot. Like every
Yeah.
cruise she goes on, it's like she comes back with a grand or two,
Yeah.
which is nuts. She paid for a cruise and came back with money.
Yeah.
And so she was winning real good, of course. And like she'd give me 100 every now and then when she was like up $800, $1,000 that night. And I would play it and then fucking go to shit, Like I'd hold on for a while. It's fun if you could at least play for a while.
Yeah.
And then you lose it. But I kept losing it, dude. The last night, I was like, I'm gonna go to. She gave me another 100. I was like, are you sure? Like,
Right.
This is not working.
It's going away as soon as I go in there.
Yeah, it's not working out for me. And so I ended up winning like $200-$300 off her 100. I'm like, cool. They had a comedy show. I was like, I'm gonna go to that. I'm gonna come back. Went to it, had a good time. Came back. She still fucking winning. She's like, I'm up 1,200. And I'm like, God damn. And so I have my little 200-300.
She does that shit, and then she comes here and talks about it, and makes Paige want to go to a casino.
Yeah, I
And
already
it's like,
know.
I don't do casino, so you
Yeah.
can talk about going to a casino all you want. I'm not going.
Yeah, we had went without you that one time. 'Cause I was like, yeah, I figured Colin wasn't coming.
No, I'm not. It's so. I'd rather, if I'm gonna spend money, I'd like to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy
It
just
sucks
lights
when
flashing in my face.
$100
or
and it's
something.
like in minutes it's poof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So she was winning real good, and so I played off my little 200-300 that I built off of her money, off mommy's money, and dude, I ended up winning like. Our numbers just start hitting. Finally, like I decided to bet multiple chips on one of my numbers and fucking hit it. It was like 4 chips, and that it pays out. It's $2, $10 minimum, but $2 per chip, and I had 4 chips times 35. So like started winning big. Well, I had a big stack of them. I ended up coming out with like 500-600.
Nice.
And then my credit card that I used to pay for the cruise ship had 0 interest for a year. And if you spend $500 in the first month, you get credited 200. So like you add up what I won at the cruise ship and then my 200 for the whole cruise, everything we did, I paid $74.
Nice.
I was like, fuck yeah, dude.
That's good that your mom gave you that money.
Thank God, because I was down $800 plus the cruise. Like I had
Yeah.
$800 on the card, on the credit card. I was like, fuck. I had a good time. I wasn't gonna let it bum me out, but I was like,
It would have bummed you out.
I was bummed out in the beginning of the day for
Yeah.
sure, and dude, got it all back. I was like, fuck yeah, dude, what a great end. Thank you, Mom.
Thank you, Mom.
If it wasn't for her, dude, I won the money fair and square, but I wouldn't have won it if she wouldn't have gave it to me, because I didn't have nothing left. Unless it was a credit card. That would have sucked to come back and just owing like
Just be in debt.
yeah, dude. I went on a cruise. I'm in hella debt. Oh yeah, it was a good time, bro.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Yep.
All right.
That's all we got for today, folks. Like, comment, subscribe. You know
Yes,
the
sir.
deal. All that shit.
Stay tuned.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.